So now that we've seen how assets can be onboarded, let's take a look at our complete asset list. So here in our equipment basics, we'll click on our equipment button, and that will take us to a list of all the assets that we have brought into the system so far. Now, one of the things that you can see immediately is that the list is fairly short. Obviously, as we bring information into the system, this will be a much larger list. The other thing to note, of course, is that we do have some colors and icons that are associated with some of our categorization. So that asset that we just brought in, this computer here, you can see that new category we created with the color and the icon make it really easy to look at this list and pick that item out. So on the list here, of course, we can come up to our search box, and basically any piece of information that is showing, we can search for that. So for example, if we wanted to look for something that is made by a mana, we can type in part of that, or part of the equipment code itself, or whatever information we want to use. Now, if we do need to search on some of the fields that aren't showing, then that is also a possibility. Right now, we've kept this list as slim as possible, but certainly other fields could be showing here. So things like the custodian and the PO number, whatever pieces of information you need, right at your fingertips from the list here, very easily added. Now, in addition to searching in order to find a piece of equipment, you can also, from this list right here, you can scan barcodes. So if you were in the field with a tablet or your phone and you had a barcode scanner, you could scan that, and that will immediately take you to the info page for that particular piece of equipment. So here you can see this is the same piece of equipment that we onboarded. And so it's just a quick and easy way to access details about any equipment while you're in the field. So this, of course, looks very similar to the onboarding form. This will allow us to make changes to any of the fields that we have showing here, all of which are pretty much similar to the ones we already saw. However, there are also a couple of other areas of interest. So for example, there is the More area here. And this brings up a lot of additional fields. So these are some of the fields that were discussed as being needed for copiers, for example. So, again, this can be further customized. So if there are additional fields that are just kind of occasionally used, they can be added to this More section here. On top of that, we also have a documents page. And you can see that we actually have two different galleries here. One is for the specific unit. So if we're taking a picture of the item itself, that may be added here. However, we also have an option of accessing all of the documents for the model itself. And so if we have multiple copies of this particular computer or copier or whatever it is, then we can upload things like repair manuals or kind of standard images here in this gallery. So the way we can do that is we can use the little menu right here, and you'll see that we get an upload option. For the existing items that are showing in a gallery, in addition to upload, we also get the option of downloading it, viewing it larger, or rotating it if for whatever reason we have a rotated image. So that's pretty much it for this page. You will note that there are a couple of other things here. There's the PM schedules as well as open work. Those things really are more relevant to facilities, and so as with lots of the other forms we've seen, there may be additional things we want to swap out. So these open work and PM schedules, maybe we will bring in other pages that will be relevant to this equipment. So for example, if we want to be able to print labels and other things like that straight from here, that could certainly be swapped in and replace open work and PM schedules.